Hey guys, this is Lewis here, also known as Lewis78 on Reddit, and I am the author of this post. When I originally posted this Reddit, I did not expect the feedback that I got, but it was tremendous, and it turns out what I found out was people actually did not know about Unity events pretty much at all. And like I said in the original post, you cannot find any tutorials, basically. You cannot find any documents. The official documents was a mess. I mean, it is useful, but it doesn't have any examples. And that's probably why. I mean, it was in the manual right here, but no one ever knew about it basically. And their scripting API was awful. Check this out. This is their document for Unity event. It's a one-line, barely a sentence document. This is pretty much a 3-second comment that the developers of Unity probably did. It was probably just like one line of double slash comment, like really quickly before lunch break, zero argument, blah blah blah. Right before their lunch break, and they wrote like one line of comment for this. No one knows what this is. But if you understand what Unity event is, it kind of makes sense what this is, but not very friendly. And so let's dive straight into my example or my tutorial. Because I'm not that good at recording videos, I'm not going to go into explaining how and why we should use it and how I discovered it, all the history. You might just read my Reddit post, because I'm really bad at telling stories, apparently. So here we go. We have one of a typical scene. So I'm gonna start. So I have a few libraries set up here already. This is my third take. I'm just gonna be honest, my third take, because that's how bad I am at recording videos. All right, let's start off by making a door. Wonderful little door here. I'm using Prototype to make my door. Prototype is an amazing asset that's free in Asset Store. I'm going to give a big shout out to them because this tool is just amazing for prototyping. And that's why it's called Prototype. It's amazing for prototyping. You're going to have to go back and forth from Blender just to make a fucking wall. You could just make the wall here and get on with your game. Alright, so we have this. Pretty neat. We got this door, our pivot's on the lower there, right? Okay, here we go. Gonna record a little animation for it called open door. Open door. It's gonna be a really bare example of how to use Unity events. Oh, did I say that the tutorial started? Yeah, the tutorial started about now. Yeah, so here we go. We're gonna start implementing Unity tutorial. Do that. Put another. Go. A nice smooth open door animation. With our open door, turn loop off. Go to debug. Turn legacy on. I'm doing this just because I want this tutorial to be really basic. Like none of the animator stuff, just a really simple animation. Just gonna put that inside. Perfect. We have an animation set up. We're gonna add a door. Call this door. So okay, so we write down the functions of this door. Public void open. There. Get component. This is not the way that you should write it. Oh well, I guess you can, but usually you put it in your field, then you call it whatever. Good stuff, but not today. We just want a really simple example so that you guys can understand what Unity event is. So here we go. It's going to be store. All right. So we have this set up. Cool. So now let's get on with our game manager or player. Let's call it player. Let's call him player. All right, player. Let's add a player script. Blah, blah. All that good stuff. Probably need to resync that because it's not showing up exactly. All right, so player. This is where the Unity event parts come in. Here we go. So let's do fixed update because I'm gonna catch the input here. And a rule of thumb is to always get your input from fixed update. More on that you can find on Google why we need to do that. Oh, is it true that we don't need an argument? Oh, is that actually true? Actually, I actually wanted to type in E in there just because all the major games use E, but didn't know that you could have nothing inside. Anyways, invoke event. Here we go. Here comes the Unity event. All right. So we start off by importing Unity Engine. Unity Engine events. Right there. Yeah. Secret package that it packs all the magic. So we're gonna start this off by having no parameters at all, just to demonstrate quickly how amazing Unity events are. Not Unity Action, Unity Events on player interact, and that is actually it. All you have to do is invoke it when you need to, and voila, you're done. This is the beauty of Unity event. This is why it's better than delegate events in some cases. Not in all cases, I'm not going to go there, but it is amazing. And ta-da! This is our Unity event. You can see it automatically serializes it. You don't need to serialize it yourself. It's as a beautiful editor with its plus and minus. I'm sure you've seen this in the UI component button or any other UI events. All right, just a quick cut there because technical difficulties. Not really, but I cut it for a reason. Okay, so yeah, and there it is. All you have to do is press the plus sign, hook up door, call door open, and we have a working event system. Now we just gotta point our camera at the fucking door. I should probably bleep that. That was unnecessary swearing. Okay. Oh. Just trying to find a good angle, a good cinematic angle. Look at our good old door here. Should probably let it face the sun. There we go. Nice and close. Right up there. Here we go. Moment of truth. Okay, I know why. Because it's play automatically. Second moment of truth. I'm gonna press E. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! So if you didn't catch what happened there was I hooked up the door to our Unity event on Player Interact, and it is invoked when we press the button E. And when I press the button E, it calls door open right here inside this place. It plays the animation. You do not need to know how this part works. You just pretend something happens. For instance, the door opens. I can in fact keep pressing E and it'll play it over and over again. So yeah, there's a quick example of how Unity events work like that. Now, there's also two more important things to do with Unity event. One is adding parameters to Unity event. Second is adding listeners on runtime to Unity events. So here we go. Hey guys, I'm back from a little brainstorm and I've got the idea of making a door that only opens if you say the secret passphrase. Yes, perfect example to pass in a parameter, right? Let's start off with adding a parameter of password and surrounding this with the good old if statement of password equals my Reddit username, Lulu78. Do not check your password like this, but for the sake of speed, this is how we're going to do it. So here we go. I'm going to show you two types of parameters. One is called static parameters. And static parameters is actually you're allowed to pass in a parameter right here. You're allowed to set, like, that was already good enough to pass in a parameter like that. So you can actually pre-configure the call with parameters of your own. So you actually don't need to change anything to events to have the ability to pass in parameters. And I think it's as many parameters as you want. I think you can have more than one. Yeah. And then you could have any serializable type. And you could create your own custom serializable. So basically it's magic. So, alright, so we're going to type in a wrong password and let's see if it works. Nope, the door no longer is open when I press E. Hopefully you can hear my beautiful mechanical keyboard. I'm going to type in Lulu78. Let's press E. And like magic, it opens the door. So now we're going to try something different. We're going to try dynamic parameters. So there's a little bit more of complication of adding parameters to Unity event. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend Unity events. We're going to extend into a new class, and we're going to call it player interact events. And we're going to extend it, and we're going to add a generic to it. And according to the tutorial, according to the documentation, you can add up to 4 generics. You can add up to 4 generics, but do not think that you can only add 4 parameters, because what you can do is actually pass around structs. You can actually pass around structs or any object. It does not have to be a primitive like int string. It does not have to look like this. You could actually pass in your own, game object, or you could pass in like a struct that you define, like public struct. You could actually define your own struct, like health event data, something like that. You could do that. You could pass around the health event data inside here. You could do that, like that. And then you could pass in a lot of stuff. And you could be like transform. Come on, work with me, Visual Studios. Transform, harmer, double damage. You get the idea. You could pass around, like, it's not limited by the generics. But again, for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to do a string. And make sure you categorize it with like similar parameters. Like if you have on damage, on heal, then you should probably make a class called health event, something like that, and then pass around the damage amount, or like the struct that I just demonstrated to you guys. So I'm going to do this empty class, and then instead of using Unity event, we're going to actually use our own interact events with the generic of a string, and which changes how invoke works. If it shows the implementation of, so basically you can pass in a string through invoke now, or whatever your generic was. So we're gonna do a wrong password first, and then go back here, drag in door, clear. It's gone. Oh, one important thing you gotta remind Unity that your very own version of Unity event is serializable. Hence, it will attempt to serialize it in our editor. Which is the beauty of Unity, by the way. If you read, like I've quoted the manual before, and it says serialization of things is at the very core of Unity. Many of our features build on top of the serialization system. And serialization of events is just as important as everything else, and I feel like Unity events should be used more. That's a debate for another video, but basically I'm just here to demonstrate how to use it. Okay, so here's our nicely serialized custom Unity event. Gonna put door in there, and this time you're gonna see something different. All of the methods with a string parameter are going to list inside this dynamic string. Well, it's dynamic parameters, and it's just type string. And in here, we're going to see open in here, and we don't need to do anything. We just need to let's make this as nice as possible. String, public string, password. Do this. Professional. So now our player has a field called password. And let's see, it's not gonna work like that. Not gonna work like that. We're gonna set it to yes, df. Nope, E doesn't work. I'm gonna set it to my Reddit username, and like magic, it works. So there's that. So we've gone through the simplest form of Unity events. We've gone through Unity events with generics or parameters, and we're gonna work on the last one, which is adding a listener in runtime. Basically, it's the same as delegate events. So instead of doing this beautiful thing, it's if you have to add something in runtime, you probably do not want to use Unity event. But I'm going to demonstrate it just for tutorial purposes. I personally use it only because some events are okay to demonstrate. Some events are okay for the game. Some events are okay to show here, but some events you want to make sure it's always there. Like you don't want the game designer to be able to just minus sign it and break everything. You want some events to be persistent, always there whenever you run the game. So let's say this is some very important game initializing event that we have to have in there. Okay, so we're gonna say we're gonna make a method called void important method that it has to be there every time. Password. Or you could not have it doesn't always have to match. Like you can not take in the parameters. Same with here. Before I save, it having your parameter does not mean you cannot use the statics. You could still use the statics. Oh, look how beautiful that is implemented. Look how beautiful that is serialized. That is just beauty. All right, debug.log. Let's log initialized. All right, pretend a lot of important stuff happened, and let's add our own on player interact. Add listener, and you want to do a lambda expression here, or delegate, but I like lambda. So you could do call the method inside your own lambda expression, and almost why are you telling me this? Oh, because it has a string parameter. All right, I'm back. Okay, yeah. So you have to take the parameter in in the lambda expression. Basically, it makes sense, and it's the reason why you it's not quite the same. Anyways, this is how you implement it. Actually, let's add. Well, you guys get the point. You could pass this into here and you could change it, all that. So this is the bad side about implementing listeners like this is that it does not show up in the side. Hence, it is not fully utilized. Does not fully utilize what Unity event has to offer. So it's like it's what I said it was. You use it because something has to be run when an event is called, and you don't want the designer to mess up in the editor. So that is everything, guys. I'm glad I made this tutorial. I hope you like it. If you like it, please subscribe. I will be making more of these cool little secrets of Unity, hopefully in the future. And I'll definitely show you guys cool stuff. So thank you guys. This is Lewis here, signing out.